Is it time?
Is it time?
Yeah.
Is it time?
Yeah.
Is it never a dull moment time?
It is.
How about is it lapping stone flattening plate time? It is today on Never a Dull Moment. I'm Greg Blythe, and I have the opportunity to share with you some new lapping stones brought to you by sharpeningsupplies.com. They were very kind to send us a product that they have developed. We have two of them here in front of you today. We'll go ahead and show you the boxes that they came in. If you guys are familiar with them, they have developed the Double-Time Flattening Stone, which is their traditional silicone carbide green stone. But what they have introduced is its twin. This is going to be the pink aluminum oxide. The pink is not just to impress you with the color. That is actually the color of the abrasive, and it has a purpose. These two different stones that look identical, they have a little bit of a different purpose. I do want to point out real quick, because I have the boxes in front of you, that the boxes are the same, so please don't be confused by the fact that they both say the same dimensions, 10 by 4 by 1, and that the grit is 320, and I believe...
And 120.
And 120. I do want to point out that the purpose of making a separate stone was this actually, the finer side is going to be 280 grit. And the reason that they decided to go ahead and make the pink aluminum oxide is that they believe that the material itself is more durable, and so that way it will last longer. And what they've also found is that if you're flattening a stone that's over 1,000 grit, it's going to leave, the finer side on this is going to leave finer scratches on that stone. So if you really want like sharp abrasive, definitely keep going with your silicone oxide. Your silicone carbide, and the rough side being, both of them being the 120. It's going to cut very fast, but the 320 and 280, you're going to see a little bit different. Use the green one for your coarser grit stones, and then the pink one is going to leave a little bit of a finer finish for your 1,000 and up. Now, I'm going to put a link above. sharpeningsupplies.com, they did a lot of testing, and I got to review what they did. And they took a water stone, and they literally measured that it had I believe it was a 0.08 millimeter indentation in the stone, and they washed it away to flatten it to see how fast they could do it, and the results were quite impressive. But they kept taking the stone, and every 5 minutes they would stop and measure the stone. They would measure the flattening stone, and then they would measure the stone to see how much material that they're wiping away. And they kept easily, every 5 minutes wearing away the water stone, and they thought over time that they would wear away their stone, and they found that that did not happen. They found there was initially, right off the bat, a little bit of wear, but then it settled in, and that these stones did not wear away. And that was their goal, to make a long-lasting, inexpensive, large stone that you could get a hold of that would help you lap your water stones. Now, a couple of things that I want to point out. We have brought out something that they did not do in the videos that they've released. We brought out almost every manufacturer you could. We have natural stones. We have Amanashi. We have King. We have Morihei. We have Naniwa. We have all these different brands out here. The soaking stones we went ahead and soaked, because they do recommend you do that. And as far as using these two lapping stones, they have you soak them as well. And we did that. And I'm going to go ahead and cut to a video, little B-roll right now, and you will see that the bubbles started going crazy. They actually even were quite audible as it was starting to absorb water. But these absorbed water for a while, and they are ready to go. I want to point out that these 10 by 4 by 1 inch stones have enough weight that without having any material to hold it in place, I do think that they will hold themselves in place. I put a towel down to help catch any debris. You could do it directly on the counter, but of course the wife is appreciative to help reduce the mess. So let's just go and talk about a little bit of the design. There is a coarse side and the fine side. The coarse side is a little thicker. You can see on both stones. And of course, that will do the majority of your big dishing out. And then when you need to polish, you'll go to the finer side. The grooves on the stone are to help to remove the abrasive material into the grooves so it doesn't stay on top and create what we call load. So it is to help make sure that these don't load up so that you can continue to use them. Traditionally, when you look at a lot of lapping stones, and I'm going to pull out another one that I have here. We've got so many things going on. So I've got the Naniwa one. This is an inexpensive stone for about $23. It's just under 7 inches, just a little over 2 inches wide, and a little over 1 inch thick. This is your traditional silicone carbide as well. A lot of them are made of that. And it has, again, grooves to help pull away the material. When you look at something like this is a $23 stone. Typically, you're going to put this down and you're going to move it around. Opposite of this $53 and change, they're $53.95 stone. That is a limited price right now. They are priced the same. This is a limited release. They don't know how long they're going to have it on the site, but at $53 a piece, they actually have a sale going on for a limited period for $95 and change, just under $96. So you are saving money if you buy them together. I do want to compare that to, say, the Naniwa large stone, which is a 12 by 6 stone. That is going to be $62 and change. So even though it is, $9 cheaper, you are getting 2 inches wider, and 2 inches longer and 2 inches wider. I don't know if you need that compared to the average size, because even the Suhiro Debato, which is a large synthetic stone, it will fit on here. So I'm not sure if you need the extra size, but it does come under the size of the Naniwa large lapping stone. Also available on sharpeningsupplies.com. If you look on sharpeningsupplies.com, they have everyone from D&T. They have different diamond stones. They have Nanohone products as well. I want to show you that I have that. So we have the Nanohone. This is the NL4. This is going to be your rougher grit. This is about 100 grit. So it's technically going to be, well, let me go ahead and kind of clean this up real quick.
Oh, sorry, guys.
So
sometimes I don't know what he's going to do.
Yep. This is going to be your 100 grit standard. It does have the added feature of fitting into the Nanohone prop base, but this is a $200 metal diamond lapping plate. So obviously, $150 more, $140 more in price. So that's quite a bit more of investment for the 100. Obviously, this will last you infinitely. But what they found so far is they are not seeing wear and tear on this. I'm going to go over to another Nanohome product. So this is a diamond button product that they have. This particular NL8, I know it's no longer offered on sharpeningsupplies.com, even though they do carry the NL10. This is going to be good for your 400 grit up to 30,000 grit. So this will cut through diamond and stuff, but again, this is a $500 option. Good. Okay, so a lot of you people are not getting into anything that size. This actually can handle diamond resin bonded products. Typically, you're going to be getting a diamond resin bonded product that is already flat. I would be thinking more of if you happen to have the triple handmade vitrified diamond stones, which are no longer in production. This is a solution for that. I would not use any diamond product or CBN product with these stones. Another thing to point out is these are not hard enough for those of you who are using Arkansas stones. Arkansas stones are harder than this product, so this is not a good option for those of you using Arkansas stones. So you'll have to come up with another method. As far as those of you using the Atoma, Atoma has like 5 different, I think it's 5 different grits, maybe 4, 400 up to 1200 grit. These have diamond plates on them in a pattern that they do eventually wear away. And you can replace the diamond with like a plate that sticks onto it. Initially, you're at $100 to get an Atoma. And then I am not sure what the diamond plate like it tapes on. I'm not sure if that is a $35 or $50 option to replace. I mean, I think it's quite expensive because the block is barely part of it. So again, you're still looking at $100, and then occasionally you have to replace. They're showing so far no wear on this, and you're still at $53.95 versus the $500 option, $200 option. Again, $23 option. This is going to be more of a do it on top with your hand. This is going to be lay the entire stone on, which we're going to demonstrate. And I'm learning to like this. I saw that with Nanohome products, putting the stone on top, letting the plate sit down. I have really come to like that method, so I'm glad to see that we have that method. So what I've done is some of the water stones, and I have a really old Naniwa super stone, which is actually like a professional stone, but it is a double side. So we've got like even the oldest of Naniwa products in here soaking. We've got some Sahiro, which you guys know, those are quite sticky. The very first stones I ever got more than like 8-9 years ago were a Naniwa Superstone. Okay, so as we're looking around at different things, let's just go ahead and grab, first of all, my question is the Sahiro product, the Dabato stone, which is so large. Let's take the pencil. So we're going to be shooting a video later of me sharpening the CCK Chinese cleaver. So I needed to get my stones ready. I don't know if this stone is flat. It might be. But we can see, thank you. We can see as far as like the size. It is the size that we need. And you can see I have nothing holding this down but the towel. The towel, you would think like this could slip all over the counter.
It's not moving at all.
Not moving at all. So we were able to, so we do.
There's still some on there.
This stone could use some flattening. Okay, so we still have some marks. So for a stone that is a 1000 grit, this is the fine side that I have up. So to leave the scratch marks fine. And it wasn't that dished out. So I went ahead and used the 280. And I can still see just a little bit of a line left. Would I say, do I feel a little stickiness? Yes.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But I was wondering, like, did I need to spray water?
That's what I was going to actually ask that question. Did it need water? Before you started, I don't know.
It feels like you could use an application of water.
Okay.
And I think that's mostly because of the material itself. I'm going to move these boxes out of the way so we don't wear the I just wanted to feel how loose it was to see if anything's sticking. It doesn't look like it is. I'm like, the load seems to be like moving into the grooves. Okay, so let's move on to a different one altogether. How about, let's see, do I have a coarse grit stone in here? This is going to be the Shapton 200, 220. Okay, and this is the Kuramaku. So I'm going to go, let's just use the new one since it is a 120.
Yeah, spray it. I don't know.
Well, it was wet. Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, we had it soaking.
I just wonder if it'll be different. Ew.
Oh, well, you know what? I didn't even put any lines on the thing.
Whoop.
I mean, it's cutting. Look at the material.
Ugly it up real quick, yeah.
Okay, but we do know that this stone definitely needed some work.
Yep.
Okay. So let's see if it's getting a load that is preventing from any cutting. It still looks moist. And we can see that we still have a little bit of marks that were right in the middle. So what I'm going to go ahead and do real fast is remove the stones that I had in here in case I want access to the water. And yes, I'm making a mess that will have to be cleaned up in the kitchen. Those of you will have a lot of great joy making comments, but I wanted to make sure that every stone had an opportunity to have some moisture on it. I'm wondering, I don't know if the line that I'm seeing there is still from that, so we're going to, we're still trying to see if it's cutting.
Would you ever turn it a different way or go in a circle or anything like that? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you can. But if this stone is truly flat, I shouldn't need to. Okay, so now let's see how hard it is to get the debris off of here.
Yeah, that's
now some of you were cringing, oh, you just put all those particles back on here. We will definitely go and wash these stones. And by the way, make sure that the stones are washed and sat out to dry to remove all the moisture before you put it away. If you put it back in the box and you trap the moisture, that can lead to cracking and loss of wear and tear over time. So
seems to stick.
Yep, so what we're doing is we are seeing some sticking there. It would be interesting to talk to the people in the company to see like if that's a thing. So as I go to wipe it away, we'll find out if it loses any cutting ability. So I'm going to have my wife follow me. I'm going to come around and I'm going to use the sink. You're going to have to pardon the other camera, but let's just use the sink real fast. We had some banana bread being made tonight. So this is just normal with my hand. I do feel the texture, so I don't feel like the cutting ability itself.
But some of it is coming off, though.
It is coming off.
What, and did they give any suggestions?
Actually, I felt like it might have cut me.
Did they give any suggestions?
Not in the videos that I saw. So let's go ahead and do this real fast. Let's take the brush.
No.
Okay, the wife is saying no to the brush. She doesn't want to throw it in the dishwasher later.
Oh, it's already on.
Okay, I personally, I'm going to let my wife feel it. You can feel that the texture is there.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I didn't-
cutting ability
I mean,
is not
I don't
hindered.
know. I guess I didn't feel it before though either.
Okay,
so
so
I
let's go
can't
ahead and
say.
do the other side really fast since we have done that. Okay.
I just did my.
All right. So
Pencil's right up here by the water bottle.
yes, I was trying to think of like
Sorry.
what have we done. So this is the Naniwa. This is an old Naniwa. These things are really hard. I happen to know that this side is always the side that's the most dished out. I'm going to use the traditional one. You can see that the moisture is going right in.
But I'm wondering, was it affected because it was the side we sprayed that turned darker?
I'm very impressed that the stone's not moving, considering the amount of pressure.
Yeah, it looks like you had it. Same thing.
It's all gone.
Yep.
Okay, so in case of the Naniwa, so let's go over here to, this is this the King 2000? Let me just double check. No, that is the King 2000.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the King 2000. This is the very old and no longer produced Morihei 3000 series, which we know is a softer stone. So with the load being on there of that 3000, will it still cut? This is the 2000. Oh, wife is so quick to point out.
Not trying to point out, just
Listen, you know, we're a team.
But does it matter that we didn't clean that off?
That's what we're going to find out.
But now we've got those parts.
I'm not worried about it because whatever particles will be washed off when I wash the stone. I want to see, can we load this stone up and it stop cutting? So there are no more. So it is done. So if we were sitting here systematically flattening all the stones in our arsenal, okay, which side are we on? We're on the rough. And we know that all these stones will be ready to go for the knife sharpening of the Chinese cleaver.
Oh.
Well, luckily, my wife is still filming because the other phone,
The other camera went poop.
it went crazy, but luckily the audio is still recording. There you go. So she
So
is
sorry if
doing her
everything-
best to do two things at once.
Everything jumbled for a second on one camera. Just
All that you guys are missing is her beautiful looks.
yeah. Whoa.
Thank you guys for staying with us through any technical difficulties. You guys know that we're a home-based show. I will show you that we are cutting. This stone definitely needed some flattening. So even though I'm using the more aggressive side on this stone, remember that this stone needs to be finished on the other side because it is a higher grain than 1000. So we're going to finish. Well, make sure I'm doing the right side.
I really don't know.
I don't know either. How about we do both?
Okay.
Both sides of the stone are going to be flat.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. The last thing I want to show you is some stuff in the natural series. Okay. So the natural stones that I'm going to bring out are stones that are obviously above 1,000 grit. Now, I'm going to come around and grab this phone and talk to you for just a second. Let me hold the phone on. My wife is going to fix the other camera.
I've tried already.
So am I holding this at a good place on?
Sure.
Okay. So remember that when we're dealing with the natural stones, okay, we're dealing with a different material.
I'm going to unplug the mic for a second.
Okay, but we're still going to have the camera rolling.
That one, yeah.
Okay.
They might not hear you very well.
Don't hear me very well. Okay. So luckily, you know, we still have the audio going on the other video. So again, I'm going to be having to use the ultrafine side, and because the stones I'm using are 6,000 grit or higher, this is going to be also going to make a slurry. Okay, so it's going to be multiple purpose in this particular instance. Obviously, normally with the natural stone, you would use like a Nagora stone. A lot of you are used to the Atoma
Let's see what
plates.
happens.
Stuff like that. But in doing so, we need to make sure that we're using the finer side. So I'm got it in the water. Now what's funny is, in the water, moving the slurry off of here, it seems to be removing better.
Okay. Interesting.
So the two natural stones that we have in here, we have a gorgeous Moriyama. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some marks on here. Now the only problem with doing it this way is the slurry is not staying on the natural stone. This is just a way. Oh, well, we do have some slurry on the natural stone. Gorgeous. The marks are all gone. The stone is flat, and we have some slurry. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now let's also go to the Nakayama. And let's see if the stone just keeps cutting. We have slurry, we have flat, we had no problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in recap, sharpeningsupplies.com. Their goal, give you something that you can afford to last for a very long time. $53.95, both of them under $100 at $95 and change. If both of them don't wear away, you have solutions for everything that is a synthetic or natural stone that is not an Arkansas stone, nothing diamond, nothing CBN, okay? Versus, and I will pull the Naniwa out, versus the Naniwa, which would also have to be soaked. They are soaking stones, and you would have to do this by hand this way. The problem with doing this on top is that if you were to go to the side and teeter, you would end up wearing the stone away on the side. So you would have to make sure you kept it this way. With the large stone down, holding itself in place, you're not going to have the problem of ever wondering, did you wear away the side? The only downfall I see is that you actually have to soak it. I mean, it is porous. You have to make sure it's dry before you put it away. So I will continue making everything flat for my next episode. We were able to introduce you to a brand new product. The manufacturer themselves is sharpeningsupply.com. We don't know how long they're going to have it. They got it to us, and they were waiting for November 1st to make it available. It is live on their website. The prices that I quoted are the current prices. I'll definitely make sure that the links are in the description. I do appreciate you guys checking us out. Hopefully this was something a little different. I don't know if it was not a dull moment. Hopefully it wasn't dull for you. We didn't make anything sharp, so to speak.
But now that we can.
But now we can't. So we appreciate you guys checking us out. We appreciate sharpeningsupplies.com sending us the latest product that they had. Obviously, I have more work to do to get ready for the next episode. Thank you for checking in Friday nights at 8 o'clock. We hope you're staying warm and enjoy this upcoming holiday season. God bless.